Hi, it's Lucy from Catching Rainbows Fertility, and just so you know a little bit about us, I work with Cath and we are a nurse and a psychologist, and we basically blend the clinical and medical with spiritual and complementary to give a really good comprehensive overview of working out why are you struggling to get pregnant, what's going on for you, what can be done, how can we get through this, how can we resolve it with no agenda whatsoever. We just think, you know what, why can't we just pick something from each pot for each person and blend it together and make it work? So these videos are a series just based on the work that we've been doing over the last decade, and today I'm going to try and talk about spiritual infertility because it's such a big thing that comes up all the time, and I'm going to try not to ramble because, you know, I'm even stood up because it's such a big subject. I know I'm gonna have to do this to talk about it. So spiritual infertility, this video is for you if you just have been trying everything to get pregnant. You feel so deep in your soul that your purpose is to be a mother and it's driving you so strongly to do whatever it takes, but you keep coming up against obstacle after obstacle and you are being pushed to your absolute limits and beyond, and you don't understand, and you keep kind of throwing your hands up to the universe and saying, are you kidding me? Really? What have I done that's so wrong? Why am I being treated so badly? I'm going to try to bring some light to that situation for you and help you understand. And it's something that I've touched on lots of times before, but I have been asked if I would do a kind of longer video on it to try to explain it in a little bit more detail. Okay, so there's going to be a few home truths in here, a few things that might push a few buttons, but they are the reality. They are things that we all need to know. They're things that have been like a complete bitch slap, to be honest, when I've realised them for myself or realised them on behalf of clients. But it's a story that just keeps telling itself over and over and over, and I just watch it over years and years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women just carving out their path and working out what it is that they need to do and where they need to be and how they can get to their child that they are supposed to have. So I'm going to give it a go. Spiritual infertility will manifest in a physical way. So you might have unexplained infertility, or you might have a physical condition that is preventing you from being able to get pregnant. And it just will feel to you as though there is much more to this than just fixing a scientific problem. So it's not black and white, it's much more big than that. Because as human beings, we are a very complicated piece of kit. So in my eyes, this is my belief, is that we are a soul and we come down into a physical body. And when we make that transition, we do it because we want to have a physical experience. There's a real privilege to being in a body because we can feel all this stuff. We can taste things, touch things, we can have relationships, we can play with the dynamics of those relationships. So life really is a game. But of course, what we don't realise as a soul is that it's going to be painful, really painful at times, and at other times really, really joyful. So here's the thing, when we are this soul coming down, we are on different life paths, going through different things, and I honestly think it's like we pick a mode. Do we want easy? Do we want middle of the road? Or do we want advanced? And I guess this is how it gets sold to us is, you know, you can go down and have middle of the road, but you know, the limitations will be here for what you can experience in terms of what you can experience in your feeling, in your everyday, in the person that you are. And I can give you an example of this by, there are people in this group who are not often moved. You know, they are very much led by their human side rather than their spiritual side. So these are the people who plod along through life with almost like a tick list of these are the things that I'm going to do to be successful, to make myself happy, to be well, and they're kind of, you know, on that treadmill, off they go, and little things will happen Like suddenly they'll be moved by watching something on the news or a song, or something will just kind of get to them, and it's like the veil comes down and they line up their spirit and their human self, and they get this kind of moment of emotion, and they go, oh, I don't know what came over me, oh my goodness, like that's enough of that, and they push it away, because that's not what they're in it for. They've come on like easy or middling level, and they just want to kind of get through, and who knows what they're up to, who knows where they are in their life cycle, in their path. But for this other group of people, it's like we're chasing that stuff because we really want to feel it. We want to feel the intensity of those experiences and emotions, and our spectrum is far, far wider, so we are capable of feeling this kind of level of despair, anxiety, depression. We are capable of feeling this euphoric, crazy bliss, and we have this smattering of kind of humble appreciation and gratitude in the middle that I think is a much more mindful concept. And the world is waking up. Things are shifting, things are changing. If you look back over past generations, we are changing as a world as generations go by. Different beliefs are coming in, different waves of how we do things, what's acceptable, what's not. I feel like a lot more love is coming in, but I also feel like the planet is probably at breaking point, and maybe we have to completely break before it can be rebuilt in a stronger way. But in terms of infertility, these children that have been coming in, they've been through all this. They get it. They have learned loads of things. They've come down loads of times. They have figured loads of stuff out, and they want to come down and just have a really good experience. So they want parents who are wise, intuitive, nurturing, kind, compassionate. Intuitive. How do you get to be that person if you haven't spent a decent amount of time on the despair end of the scale? So here's an example. Okay, so somebody from like the other side, somebody who's here with the middling or the easy mode, they have their kids easily. They bring those kids up. They don't see them. They don't get them. They don't feel them. Those children will not be felt in that way. They will be told things like, oh, don't be silly, you don't feel like that. Really? They don't feel like that because you're not them and you don't know how they feel. Someone on the other side, someone from your little batch, will say, you're not okay. What's happening? What's happening for you? Much less dismissive, much more open, much more insightful, much more respectful, much more kind. And what kind of things are going to happen to the world when parents like that are raising children in that way? So if you're in that group of spiritual infertility, you are being pushed to be your very best self. So, okay, if you came in because you wanted to learn about unconditional love, you would think on your human side, your logic would say, okay, well, if I've come in and I want to learn about unconditional love, I'm going to be placed with parents who will give me unconditional love. But that isn't what's happening. What has happened is those people get put with narcissistic mothers, absent fathers, emotional turmoil, emotionally distant mothers. And so they don't have that unconditional love. They don't have that mentoring or that guidance. But they've come in with this big emotional spectrum. They've come in on the advanced level. And so they're like, I'm tormented until I find this for myself. I need to find it for myself. I need to learn to love myself unconditionally, despite everything else that goes along. And when you have been through that battle, you are going to damn sure make it really important that your child comes into the world nurtured and taken care of and held and seen and respected and looked after. But you wouldn't be that person if you hadn't had that life that you came in with. And there isn't a test. It isn't the universe saying, I'm going to punish you with this or I'm going to judge you with that. It's all you. That's the bitch slap. That's the bit where you go, oh crap, it's me. I decided that. Like, I came down with a list of things that I wanted to do, and I agreed to this because actually that's how I'm going to get through this. This is how I'm going to learn. This is how I'm going to become the end game version of myself that I truly, really want to be. So that is also where the law of attraction comes in versus spiritual openness. So the people in the herd, the easy people, the middling people, they're all about the law of attraction in terms of, okay, I've got this shopping list of the things that I want to buy that will make me happy. These are the achievements that I need to make. These are the things that I have to do, because that's the logical human side deciding what happiness will look like and how to get there. Now, I have a feeling that our spirit has like a list of outcomes, and they're not a shopping list of things, they're a shopping list of feelings, outcome feelings. So your spirit knows how you could get that at the top level. So for me, it would be things like having purpose, having fulfillment, having connection, feeling deep intuitive love, to give, to receive, to feel safe, to feel well, to have fun, to have enjoyment, to have joy, to be kind. All of those things would be in my outcome. But my spirit says, okay, well, you know, your human self might say that it needs to look like this. But your spirit self will go, no, I don't think you're going to get there. You're not going to get top end level euphoric bliss if it all just goes easy breezy like that. We want to take you on a few detours because you're going to figure some stuff out. You're going to be forced to heal stuff that you didn't even know needs healing. And the disclaimer here is you do not need to heal all of this stuff in order to get pregnant. You can still get pregnant while you heal, and you can continue healing while you're pregnant, because that is life. But if you start to get on the right track, things start to fall away, things start to open up, things start to feel easier. So that's why spiritual people, this is going to sound really contradictory, cannot cope with law of attraction, because law of attraction is very kind of, it's down to you. You're making the actions, you're taking control. If you screw this up, it's you that hasn't thought positively, it's you that's ruined this. And that is absolutely not the case. The easy middling people can cope with the law of attraction because their spectrum of emotion is this. They don't get those dark feelings, or they don't allow themselves to tap into them. So they can stay in this slightly disconnected place and go chasing off after those dreams. But when you're an open, big spirit in a body, you've got all those feelings, and it's like torment. It's absolute torture when you can feel that you're getting in your own way, that you know that you want to get to this baby and you don't want to screw it up, and you must make the right decisions, and if you don't make the right decisions you're going to ruin it and you're never going to be okay. And all of that is absolute torture, and that's why you need to kind of ditch some of these rules of the law of attraction and let your spirit take over. So surrender up to that part of you that has the outcome feelings, and let her guide you. Let her show you the way through instinct. So if you keep coming up against wall after wall after wall, it might be that there's something else that you said to yourself you wanted to do to be the perfect version of this parent that you want to be. It might be that you haven't noticed that there's something else subtle that's going on, but you'll notice how you feel. And when you feel that stuck, despair, well, it's torture, isn't it? It's living hell. Get quiet. Stop. And just trust for a minute that you're going to figure this out, because that's the whole point of you being here. This baby is your purpose. You are somebody whose purpose is to be a mother. You're not going to screw it up, and this child will come to you. And it's not your job to engineer how that happens. It's your job to open up all the doors as widely as you can in the most instinctive and logical way that you can. So You have to move to what draws you. If something doesn't feel right, you have to work out, is that a block that I've got that I need to work through? Or is that my instinct telling me that door's not for you? If it feels calm and neutral, that's your instinct. If it feels like it brings a sort of surge of panic or restriction, then that might be something that's a block in you or something that you need to explore. So you're not getting it wrong. This is about expansion. This is how it's supposed to be. And you cannot have the light without the darkness. And every time you go through darkness, you will emerge with something, a set of tools, a piece that you've learned, and a revelation, something that you've grown through. And you will get better and better and better at dealing with those really difficult situations. So surrendering up to this higher outcome and thinking, you know what? That's part of my spirit wants the absolute best for me. She knows how I can get that top level experience. She knows how to take me there. So it makes sense that this is all going to turn out okay. It makes sense that I'm going to work this out. And then, as I say, just get quiet. It might be that you need to sit with some decisions. You need to move instinctively through your day. Look at all the things that you are doing and decide if you're into it or not. Does it feel okay to do that? Or is it bringing resistance or restriction or panic or stress or any of those uncomfortable feelings? It might be that it's time to get all the supplements out and just go, I can't do it at the moment. I just need cleanse. I need purge from all of this restriction and all of this attempt to manifest and control and get back to the drawing board of, come on then, tell me what I need to be doing. Tell me what I'm drawn to do. And know that it can look like so many things, and it can look like real full-on fertility stuff. This isn't about don't do fertility stuff. It's about do the fertility stuff and the non-fertility stuff that draws you in, and accept that part of you that knows this is going to be okay. Because you know what, I'm going to say to myself, I want this to be okay for you, so I'm on it. I'm with you. I'm behind you. I'm going to help you. And start looking for help. Start surrendering. Start asking. Write it down. Write, I need help with this. I need to hand it over. I need guidance. I need really clear guidance, and I need signs, and I need support. And it will come. It always comes. Just be on the lookout. Go where you're drawn. It might be that you just fancy fiddling on your phone, and before you know it, you're sucked into a video that has just opened something up for you that makes sense. Or you just pick up a book, or somebody will have a conversation with you and it will just go, oh, yeah, do you know what? That's completely shifted my perspective on that. And honestly know that this isn't about life being cruel. It isn't about something being done to you. It's about decisions that you made as a soul coming in, and promises that you made to that child, that you are going to do this work, that you're going to, you know what, you're like a ninja mum. You know, you're the kind of mum who does these crazy moves and jump over here, and I can get that bridge, and I'm going to run and catch that train. I'm going to do all these things to get to you because I can see you over there and I can see you struggling, and I'm going to literally transform myself so that I can catapult over to you and scoop you up and bring you home where you're supposed to be. So, I know it's so hard. I know it is cripplingly difficult, and I wish I could just give you the exact answer to your problem right now, but just think openly, deeply, lovingly. Is there something else? Is there a feeling in me that brings a fear or a panic? Because that's usually where you need to hone in and just softly, lovingly do that work. And nobody is out to get you, and nobody is trying to muck it up so that it can't work. It's all you. And our human self gets in the way of our spirit self. And the whole point of this life is to align the two up so that your human self can experience the physical sensation of being aligned into that spirit. And that's when you get all those different feelings. And part of the dance is to go through the black, to come out into the light. And you'll go through it over and over and over. You're not going to have this baby and never have darkness again. but you will have darkness in a different context, in a different capacity. You'll be better equipped to deal with it. You'll be a better mother for it. This is changing you, and it's changing you in a way that you might think you're losing yourself. You might feel desperate. You might feel like you're lost, but you're not. You're in there. You are in there. I promise that you're in there. And it's just that you're stripped down, naked, raw, emotional spirit. And so now you have a chance to piece that back together and just think about the way that you are feeling about things. Think about the mentality behind that. Are you doing yourself a disservice? Are you playing victim? Are you moving along with that outlook of shit, things always happen to me? Then it's time to shift that. It's time to at least say to yourself, I deserve this to be better. I do. And if I'm getting in my own way, it's time for me to nurture myself back to new beliefs. And you can bridge those gaps to new beliefs in so many soft, gentle ways. Just those gentle affirmations, writing things down, exploring, reading books that fill you up, that help you to strengthen that belief in this as a concept. And then, you've got that strength to move forward. I know it's hard. It's so hard. It's so freaking hard. It's like infertility is that form of mental madness, crazy, difficult. How many blocks can I work through? How much work do I have to do? How hard can this be? And there is a way to keep bridging the gaps. And I think if you feel like you've done all the work, if you feel like it's all there, then it's a case of you're in that place where it's about to shift, it's about to come. And I tell you what, every time it goes totally quiet and you feel that come back in, it usually means things are just about to happen. So if you really can't think that there's any more work that needs to happen and there's no more learning to do or no more growing to do, or just sometimes it's that fire in your belly that says, it's time. I'm aligned. I'm done. I am ready. I am open. And so do whatever you can do to bring comfort and soothing to yourself, to just shift yourself into a place that feels a little bit calmer and brighter and gentler. But at the same time, don't be scared of these feelings. Don't worry that they're there, because it's okay for you to sit and be with them and to feel them and to listen to them and just move through them. Because again, these feelings aren't the problem. It's our resistance to them that creates that negative, difficult constriction. So sit with the feelings. See if there's anything there. Ask yourself, am I replaying any old themes, any old patterns? And if that doesn't feel like something that you want to do, then write the surrender. Write it out. Like, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is what I'm asking for. My highest possible outcome feels so much like it is to align with this child. So please allow it to be. Show me the way, give me clear guidance. I need that now. I surrender to it. I want to hand it over. And anything that just purges you of all that feeling and thought and process, writing can be incredibly powerful in terms of a manifesting tool as well. So can really shift your perspective, and just finding those gentle affirmations that just bridge the gap to line you back up again. So, that kind of thing of, I just love the idea of this working out. I want to feel that I'm connecting to that higher source, and I'm listening and I'm ready, and it feels like exactly the right thing to be doing. And nothing feels better than the idea of this baby being able to find me. So just bridging those gaps, finding your way. I love resources that, can stimulate you. So it might be that your instinct just says, click on that link, read that article, watch that video, pick up that book. All sorts of little things that just give us tidbits, like a little breadcrumb trail. And speaking of which, breadcrumb trail, Tosha Silver, she talks about that a lot, and I love her book. She's got Outrageous Openness and Change Me Prayers, both really powerful books in terms of the way that you work with letting your spirit take the lead and that art of surrender, and just such a gentle, soft approach that's much less scary than going down the law of attraction kind of ethos. So her books are great as well. Lissa Rankin does a whole range of books. She's a medical doctor and I love her writing. One of my favourite ones is The Fear Cure. So that's really worth a read if you're in that place. But just put it out there that you're wanting those resources, you're wanting that support, you're wanting that guidance, and it will come. It will come. This isn't the end of your story. This is partway through your story. There are detours that take us exactly where we are supposed to be, and just trust that the outcome version of you is going to have so many skills to draw on and such a mindful perspective of how you can be in the life that you're creating and with the people and the children that you fill into your life. I think I'm going to have to stop rambling because I could literally talk about this all day long. So I'm sure there'll be some spin-off bits and pieces from here and more stuff that comes out. But for now, I'm going to leave it there and let you go on your way, and lots of love from us. And I will see you in the next video.